Because if you're not confident, you don't have discernment.
Exactly. Way to put it right there. If you're
If you
not
don't have
confident,
confidence, you don't have discernment, because you will be so eager to accept whatever you think you can get.
yep,
And if your confidence is in the bottom of the barrel, guess what you're gonna get? A bottom of the barrel chick. Trust me,
exactly.
I know. I have done this. I have walked that life, and I just feel bad for my dude, because he's no longer gonna get that. He's never gonna be able to get that back.
Oh no, no. Once it's gone
Well,
forever. And
Yeah! Yeah!
welcome back to Relationship Talk with Wanito. I am Wanito, aka Coach Robinson, and I'm joined today again with my boy Big G. Big G, say what's up to the people.
good evening. How's everybody doing?
Hey man, so it's been a while since we've been on. How was your Thanksgiving holidays?
Oh, hey, thank you for asking. Very lovely, very lovely. You know what I'm saying? My birthday normally falls during the time of Thanksgiving. So, you know what I'm saying? I was down there giving me some of that cowboy love with that victory, baby.
Wait, hold on. Time out, time out, time out, time out. So you telling me you was here in Texas and you ain't let me know?
Hey, I don't when I come to the cowboy game, because I gotta be focused on the Cowboys, I slide in and I slide out.
Oh, okay, okay.
You know,
Hey, I will say I have been guilty of doing that to you as well.
yes, yes. Hey man, you in town. Man, I just came in and I left.
Hey, I come in, pick up the kids, and slide right back out.
Yep, slide in and slide out.
Well, good man. Hey, it sounds like you had a pretty good holidays. My birthday was actually the day after Thanksgiving, so
Happy
celebrating
belated,
year
my
number
friend.
44. Big Obama.
Big old mama, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I had to do my little last week I did my show with my wife. I don't know if you had a chance to check out the episode, but it was our first time being on camera. Well, she didn't come on camera, but for her first time being on the mic, so she
Yeah,
was a
I
little
seen
nervous.
had a little picture up and everything. She
Yeah,
did good. I think y'all conversed real well together.
yeah. So she was a little nervous that she said I caught her off guard a couple times with some questions that she wasn't really prepared to answer. But nah, she was a good sport about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So I saw that you sent me this video for us to react to and kind of talk about. So I'm gonna go
Yes,
ahead
indeed.
and pull it up.
Casual encounters. That's it.
That's what some of y'all have just worked though. Let's be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
Listen, we wanted the male perspective, so that's
but where are you getting that from? Like, why would you say?
Well, yeah. So here's the thing, right? They say be honest. So we have this criteria that these women set for these men. You have to be this, you need to be that, you need to be 6 feet tall, you need to make this, you need to do that. I want you to be in line, I want you not to cheat, I want you to do this. But at the same time, they're still dealing with women who are emotionally hurt, who have parents who never taught them how to be a woman. Most of these new age women don't have the concept of what a virtuous woman is. Then we want to speak to the Bible. And then you want men to treat you like a queen, but you act like peasants. See, that's the problem is you can't walk around here shaking your ass in the club and expect me to respect you when you don't respect yourself. You can't put your man before your kids and expect me to respect you as a parent. You only present what your value is. And if your value is your ass, your hair, your nails, your smile, and your presence in public, but not your education, not your person, not your love, not your heart, not your interaction, not your intelligence, then we don't get to meet that. And the thing about it is that a lot of people have this conversation and it's all cute and funny when we're talking now. But when somebody tell you that this is what you presented to me, so I gave you what I thought you was worth. The thing about it is that ain't nobody coming to you nowadays, like the young lady said, with respect as a man, because I deserve the same respect you do. So what makes you think that I should value anything less than what you show me? And most of these women who are out here are drinking in the club, toe up, laughing, joking, and that's great, have a good time. But at the same time, if you don't carry yourself like a lady, what is a man supposed to present to you? If you don't carry yourself with respect and class, what the hell am I supposed to present to you? If you look like ass, I'm going to treat you like ass. And the truth about it is, everybody wants affection, everybody wants to feel wanted. And what women have done nowadays is replace the whole being attractive and being somebody of stature with the idea of being desired. Because the more men they want, the more powerful they are, and they think that's going to get them a good man. You could have all the money in the world, you could have a good job, you could have a banging body, you could do all of this and still be messed up in your head, and it makes you the most unattractive person ever. But this is what we get. And for every woman who sits in this room and says that I am not that woman, 4 of your girlfriends are. And the bad part about it is that I ain't got to deal with the conversation and laugh and joke, and I can get mine off and just go home. Then why would I have to go through this with you?
Yeah.
You know, the most interesting thing about that video is I'm listening to what he was saying, but I'm also listening to what the women are saying. When it initially first came on, he said something, and I couldn't really necessarily catch their response, but once he got the mic and he started talking, you could hear the women kind of chattering in the background, and then there's a point where it just goes silent. And the reason why that is because at that moment is when it starts to hit home. When the brain goes from automatically wanting to be defensive, the old got my response locked and loaded, ready to fire off, to hold on, he may just be speaking facts. And then you heard, especially when he hit the bar about, you may not be the one, but I can guarantee you 4 of your homegirls are.
Yeah.
Then you start to hear some women say, mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so I thought dude was spot on. There's a couple things that he said that it's the reality.
Right. The line when he told him, he said, you know what I'm saying? And I've said this a lot when I tell women, I say, a woman's going to present to you the best thing she has to offer. And I said this when we first started this, when the conversation about it, if a woman has her education, she's going to lead you to the education. She's going to, show you how to improve. You know what I'm saying? She's going to, get this going for you. LLC you up. Baby, we do this business. We finna do. She's going to lead with her best asset. If it's her heart, loving and caring, anything you need, she's going to be at the drop of a dime. She's going to be there to take care of you. Baby, you want me to run and go do this here for you, baby? Okay, baby, I'll pick this up for you. I'm going to do this here. You know what I'm saying? So whatever she feels her best asset, that's what she's going to lead with. And the killing part about it, 80 to 90% of these women now, they lead with their beauty. Well, not their beauty, but their booty. You look at every picture on there, the first thing they do, they give you a look at the face, they turn sideways and show you that ass. When you come up and meet them and do something, they turn around and show you that ass. When they go to the gym, they don't do no exercises, but ass exercises.
Hey,
No,
listen.
you been there, Juan.
Listen. Hey, dude, I see it all the time. And I'm like, I'm just thinking to myself, you do know there's other exercises that you can do. Number 2, you got other body parts. So and this is the part that gets me, because I'm one of those 5-6 days out of the week in the gym. So I see mostly, and I go around the same time. So I see the same people in there, every time. And some of the girls that come in there, they got booties already, but they got booties on the front and the back.
Yeah.
And they only be worried about the one on the back, because they don't do no full body workouts. They don't go hit the treadmill. They just come in, do 18,000 squats and the little leg flies machine, leg press.
And the new one, they get out, they get the bench, and they get the weight on the bench, and they do the little bridges.
Yeah, the hip thrust.
Hip thrust.
Yeah, and that's it. They in,
That's it.
and then they out.
Out.
And Thing is, because I've been going there for so long, they come in and they ain't really changed.
Nope.
Because they, number one, first thing first is you gotta change your diet. You can't be going to the gym, working out, and still eating all the same shit that you was eating beforehand.
Yes, indeed.
Because getting in shape and getting a nice body is 80% diet, 20% physical. And so, yeah, uh, you know, the way that he put it, it just really made sense. Because we've been saying the same thing, but the way that he worded it, it just
Yeah.
really like hit home because it's like, as he was saying it, I'm thinking about all of these different young ladies that I encounter, you know, um, especially like at my job, there's a lot of people that come through the building where I work at. And so you see all of those things, the nails, the pterodactyl eyelashes, 8 pounds of makeup, the fake hair, that even though it's a professional setting, they still come in with your club dresses on. And it's like, man, you are an attractive woman, but how you present yourself is extremely unattractive.
Unattractive. And a lot of these new young ladies don't understand that. And like he said, a man responds to what he's given. Uh, the OG Charleston White says, when a woman walks into the room and she's a woman of virtue and class, her presence alone will make whatever man straighten up. He's sagging his pants, he's gonna pull up. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's when a woman enters the room, a woman of virtue, a woman of value. When her presence alone will make a man straighten up. Well, when you come in, you looking like you just two things, rolled out of bed or rolled out the club. You can't demand respect because, well, let me not say that. You can demand respect, but what you're giving off does not deem respectful from a man. If a man see you out in a store with your kids and you got them shorts that's riding up all your cheeks, so I see the bottom of your cheeks hangs out. First of all, you don't respect yourself. Second of all, you don't respect your kids because it's your kids. Cover up, but you're not doing that. So if two levels of disrespect is already out there, why should I approach you with respect?
Well, in their mind, you should approach them because they're a woman. You should approach them with respect because they're a woman. And that's in their minds. And in our minds, because we are naturally visual creatures, we gauge our level of respect based off of how we see you,
How we see you.
even before we meet you. Like, we categorize you.
Yes.
We just make a decision as if I'm going to approach her, this is what my intentions are.
Yep.
So this will be how I approach her.
And for some reason, when we've been telling women this for years and years and years, they still haven't gotten the message. Now, the way I was raised, my mom raised me, was I'm going to give you a little leeway. I'm still going to show you some levels of respect because I respect everyone. But that when I see something like that, my level of respect is I'm just going to be respectful. How you doing, ma'am? Have a nice day, ma'am. Because to me, you're not worth for me even a flirt. I'm not gonna waste my time on even a flirt with you. And you got your kids with you dressed like that. And so, because I'm a flirtatious guy. I'm not gonna lie, I am. It just for some reason it just comes. It had a lot of the times it's not premeditated. It's just what's gonna happen. I'm gonna
It's just
flirt.
your personality.
Yeah, my personality. Yeah, my personality. But when I see a woman who is not respectable of herself, first of all, respecting her body. Yeah, I don't. Now, younger me, I probably would have entertained it, but I'm glad my circle of people that I have around me are, I'm saying, older gentlemen. And even though I didn't have a father figure on a daily basis, I had older men who hit me to the game. You know what I'm saying? And you know all the little terms and little things that we have amongst men. You got some you be nice to, some your wife, and some are just for fun. You know the old little saying in the movie Colors when when the guy said, "Let's go down there and grab one of them bulls." The old head came up and said, "Now we're gonna walk down and grab all the bulls. I mean all the cows." You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know what reference that is.
you ain't never seen the movie Colors
Colors.
with Ice-T?
Mm-mm.
Colors. Colors. I am a nightmare walking, psychopath talking, king of the jungle, just a gangster. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, it's an old school movie set in probably like the early '90s, about late '80s, early '90s, about gang banging in LA.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then, because I wasn't in the movies, watching movies
Yeah,
back then.
yeah. And so that was one of the things. And at the very end of the movie, two cops was talking, and one of the cops, he was talking to an old school buddy, I mean a young cat, and explaining to him about how you're supposed to perceive things. And that came up. The guy told him, he said, you know what I'm saying? There was these two bulls, an old bull and a young bull. Young bull says, "Hey, let's run on down there and get up, you know what I'm saying, and snatch up one of these cows." He ain't say snatch up, he said the other word. And then the old bull looked to him and said, "Nah, what we gonna do is we're gonna walk down here and we're gonna snatch up all the cows." And that's a metaphor, just like a little metaphor about how things happen, you know what I'm saying, and the thoughts of how men see things. If you a woman of virtue, like the man said, a woman of class, you're going to be treated as such. You know what I'm saying? Even the hardest, thuggish type person, he knows that I can't get away with that with you. He either going to do two things: correct himself, or he's going to try to belittle and demean you. Even though through it all, a woman's going to remain a woman. She's going to remain in class. She's going to remove herself from the ignorant portion. But if she likes the young man, she's going to tell him, "You don't talk to a lady like that. Approach me with class. Approach me with respect." And he's going to correct his stature.
Yeah, but I don't think that I don't think that a lot of the women today, and I preface this by saying not all, but there's a good portion of the women today that in their minds they don't see it that way, or they don't value themselves, or furthermore they don't value men. You know, one of the things that irritates me is when, for example, I immediately comes to mind when I go to the gym. There's one particular woman. We usually cross paths going in and out of the gym. It's not always, but whenever I see her, it's usually we're crossing paths with her going in the gym and I'm coming out, or vice versa. And so, just being the man that I am, I naturally, hold the door. And she just walks right past me. No thank you. No nothing. It's like, it's a simple gesture. And that simple gesture has a value attached to it.
Yeah.
Because if I slam this damn door in your face, you're going to feel some kind of way. Or if I call you out on your bullshit, you're going to feel some kind of way. And I have done it before. Where I'm like, you can say thank you.
Yeah. Excuse me, ma'am. I
You
do it
know,
all the time. You don't say thank you when I hold the door. Hey, excuse me, ma'am. Huh? Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Yeah.
yeah, and it's the little things like that that kind of lets me know what type of person that you are, right? Because it's not like you walking out and you got your head in your phone. But even if you did, you still know that there's a door there, and you get to walk out without having to put your hands on the door and open it. You ain't gotta make a huge gesture. It's just thank you or thanks.
To me, women has become so standoffish now that men stop trying to be respectful of them. The statement when he says, you know what I'm saying, they feel that being desired is more important than being wanted. So with those booty pics and everything, you know what I'm saying, they getting that instant desire from men. They know that they in in a world where they could meet each one of them, they wouldn't give the time of the day. But those likes and those comments from these guys that you wouldn't even speak to, that sets the tone for them. So you're going to, and for social media, you're going to accept those likes. You're going to accept those comments telling you how big your butt is and, ooh, I like the, ooh, you fired, and the fire emojis. But if that person was to approach you in person, you would give that person all kind of attitude. And what you looking at? There was a video probably about 7 to 8 years ago that basically back up what I'm saying. A young man being very respectful to a young lady. Excuse me, ma'am. Just want to let you know. But instead of her being respectful to him, no, thank you. I'm not interested. She takes out her phone and start recording the guy trying to have a conversation with her. He was like, "Did I do something wrong, ma'am? I was just trying to let you know you're a beautiful young lady, and I would like to get you. You see, can't even go to Dollar General. Guy try to talk to you. Well, where is a guy supposed to, if he finds you attractive and wants to meet you, and this is his only shot to see you and be, even if you shoot him down, where is he supposed to meet you?"
You know what? I am so glad that you brought that up. Because you know what? I actually have a video that talks about that exact same thing. Let me pull it up real fast.
A woman can go out with a guy, a high status male. She can have sex with him, which gives her the impression that's her weight class for a relationship, but he's not interested in a relationship. And then she basically decides the bottom 90 are no longer in her weight class. 50% of women say they won't date a man shorter than them. I'm curious what you think, but I think it's more like 80%. I think it's an embarrassing thing to say because just instinctively, women feel like they'll be vulnerable during gestation and they want someone they think physically could protect them. I just think it's hardwired into them even if they don't know it. Women, metaphorically, are getting taller every year. And women made horizontally and up and men horizontally and down.
Right.
And when the pool of horizontal and up keeps shrinking, they just have... So this notion, a ton of great women, where are the men? Or there's no men? There's a lot of men, just not men they'd want to date. And then you speedball it with the guys who are in the top 10% can engage in Porsche polygamy. They can get a date every goddamn night, which does not encourage long-term or very good behavior. So the guys they all want are not incented to enter into long-term relationships. And the bottom half of men are literally shut out of the mating market. And we always, and this goes to your ballywick, portray men as the predators and the idiots and they just got their act together. There's something strange going on in that as online dating. A woman can go out with a guy, a high status male. She can have sex with him, which gives her the impression that's her weight class for a relationship, but he's not interested in a relationship. And then she basically...
Hold on, this ain't the one.
But he's right.
Yeah, I think that there's a large population of women that don't even think that that's a real thing. Like, that it's something that men just made up.
But see what here's what they call the girl math. Now, a woman who is average, a 5, saying she won't date down, but she expects the man that she's shooting for to date down. Because you're not an 8, 9, or 10. You want this guy who's 8, 9, 10 to date down.
I think the whole dating down and dating up is it's stupid, right? Because it doesn't do good for anybody. Find somebody that you share compatibility with, that you can have periodic chemistry with, and that you guys can work together, build something together, right? Understanding that you're in it for the long haul. It's not nothing about relationships is a microwave, right? It takes time, attention, effort, affection. It takes you putting yourself down and lifting somebody else up. You know, relationships are hard, but everybody wants it to be easy, and they want it to they want to get to the point to where, you know, they're at the level where somebody had to spend 20 years building the relationship that they have, to where they start looking alike, or they can finish each other's sentences and all of these things. And before he even makes a move, she already knows what he's thinking or what he wants. All that takes time. It takes attention. It takes effort.
But with that, and being with someone who's on your level, and you wanting to do it, be like that, that's where the communication comes in, Juan. And men and women don't really know the art of communicating anymore, because a lot of therapists and I say, going back into the mid 90s, early 90s, late 90s, 2000, where the focus shift from communicating, hearing each other out, to where it became, if you're a woman, he has to listen to you. And there's this woman, and next week, her videos pops up on me, and you probably have already seen it, where she's a therapist, and she's doing couple therapy, and she's talking to these people. And I saw one 2 weeks ago where the woman is talking. She was just going about not being heard. So when the guy, she had asked the question to the guy, and the guy was like, "Well, yeah, we go to this restaurant. All she want to do is go to these fancy restaurants, and we're the only, people of color there. I feel like they don't respect me there, and I don't like going there." Well, she started to, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." And the woman said, "Well, you're telling him not to worry about it, and when he does that to you, you come in here and you complain about not being heard. So why are you not hearing him? If you want your partner to hear you, you can't say things like, 'Don't worry about it.' If he's opening it up to you and telling you that this is how he feels about this, going to these places, and these people's not respecting him, and not, they don't see him as a person that they need to respect. So they give him sloppy service, they give him stares, they give him look." She said, "But the first thing out of your mouth was, 'Don't worry about it.' But if he was to ever say something like that to you, we'll be in here and we'll be going through all hell." And it took her about 30 minutes to realize what the woman was saying, because all she's been told that the man has to listen to her.
Yeah, and in reality, it just shows you that she doesn't value his thoughts, feelings, emotions, and his communication. And that's a large reason why guys don't open up their vulnerabilities to their woman, because there's no value placed in it. It's either turned around and used as a weapon, or it's somehow they somehow internalize it and make it about them, and then it becomes an argument. So yeah, no, I have been there, done that. But I think I got the video now.
All right.
I got a bunch of these that I was watching.
Yeah.
Guess.
Women are asking men to be more emotionally open, but then they get shamed when they do that. We beg guys to open up. We beg them to let us in. And then when they do, we can't stomach it. And I heard that over and over in my research. And women say that they want these guys to be emotional, but as soon as they show emotionality, it can freak those women out. So one guy that I spoke to for this said, "I went on a few dates with this woman. At some point, I told her that my mom had had a suicide attempt. And the next day she texted me and said, 'I'm sorry, I can't see you. I cannot process your emotional trauma for you.'" And so guys are getting a lot of mixed messages. We want you to be feminine. We want you to support us. But when you do, it freaks us out. And so we don't want that. And digging into the research, and I want to look into this more, I think it's that a lot of women want emotional support. They want you to support them in their emotional journeys, but they're not as ready to have you open up in your emotional journey. Women are asked.
Yeah, that was literally what we were just talking about. But
Yes.
that still wasn't the video I was looking
What
for.
the Yeah. Hey, but see how it falls in? Yeah.
Yeah, I clicked on that video thinking it was the one that I was looking for, and it just literally tied in the right what we was just talking about.
We were saying. And it's sad that we can't communicate anymore. And we don't tend to value that.
Hold on, let me stop you real fast. I don't think we were ever good at communicating.
Well, men wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean in relationships, period.
You don't think
I think that look at all of the couples that last for years. A large portion of those couples, they didn't necessarily have healthy relationships. They just stayed together because that's just what you did. They just, because that's how they were brought up. That's how they were taught. Men were told it's cheaper to keep her. Happy wife, happy life. But when you actually think about it and you get into the weeds, that simply means that we've just learned how to exist with each other.
Okay.
And
I see what you're saying.
you know, so we've been together this long, and so we just gonna stick it out. But what you'll find is the couples that really got the communication down, and this is so far and few, those are the ones when they've been together for 30, 40, 50 years. When one passes away, the other one follows suit shortly thereafter. Why? Because they truly become one. And communication is a large part of that.
You're right.
You know,
when you're right, you're right.
nowadays the people who've been in the long term relationships, they've been in those relationships simply because they have kids together. When all of the kids are gone,
they leave.
They leave each other. One leaves the other because they don't know how, it's just them, and they don't even know who the other person is.
So the kids were the buffer. So now that the buffer is gone, we don't really know each other.
Yeah, so I don't even think that people are really good at communicating in relationships.
True. Well, when you broke it down like that, there you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, what's one of the things that you hear often when people have been in, relationships 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and then they end up getting divorced? What's one of the main things you hear? Well, we've grown apart.
Grown apart.
What does that even mean? It just simply means that either I have progressed and you're no longer there, or you're no longer keeping up, or he has progressed and you feel like, he's operating on a different level. But how do you get left behind like that, right? It's because you're just two people existing underneath one roof in a marriage, but you're not in a real relationship, because relationship requires communication. And you know what? As I elevate, I my wife's got to elevate, and we have these conversations. As she elevates, I gotta elevate too.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, my thing is, hey, look, I'm always gonna be one step ahead. Hey, look, can't be having you showing me up. Nah, not
They
today.
showing me up, baby. No.
Nope. But no, being serious though, um, communication is, you know, you hear people say when you ask them, what's the key to a long, a successful relationship? All you hear, what's the number one thing you hear? Communication. But not a lot of people are good at it.
Yep. In my marriage, you know what I'm saying? Because after I got divorced, I had to go through a little therapy for myself, and I realized I was a I was a holder on of emotions. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to argue or fuss or say anything negative in front of my daughter. I didn't want to make the situation bad, so I would just sit there and take it. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt that that was the easier way out. Let me don't say nothing. Let her get it on out. Everything will be cool. And when going through therapy, you know what I'm saying? The therapist said, that's not good. You're at this moment, y'all been coexisting. I say, well, I'm not trying to have an argument. She say some arguments are needed. I said, how can an argument be needed? She say, a healthy argument is needed. She say, because sometimes via arguments, you actually get the truth. And she said, all relationships need that moment of truth. If it's just one-sided and you decides to shut down, where the truth is in that? I said, you're right. She said, but once again, the argument has to be healthy and respectful. And so that's when she gave me the book, Learning How to Fight Fair. You know, I know everybody
Yeah.
got that book. And so I got the little book and everything, reading the little book, I understood it. You know what I'm saying? You can have an argument without hitting below the belt, fighting unfair. She said, even in an argument, there has to be listening. He said, because most people, when they argue, nobody listens. It's bam, 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 let me throw this, throw me that. And she said, you was thinking, she said, because when you shut down and just let her talk, you wasn't listening either. I said, you're right. She said, so when a fighting fair, healthy argument, you set your boundaries with your partner. These are things that are going to be off limit. These are things that's going to be said, and y'all navigate through that. Well, I got those relationship tools too late, but moving forward, that's what I would do now. I'm not going to attack, but I'm going to let I'm going to voice my displeasures in a respectful manner.
You know, it's funny you say that because I meet with the VA therapist once a quarter or once every
Mhm.
other month or something like that, and we were talking about communication and yeah, it's funny because she's my therapist and somehow some way during our discussion I end up relationship coaching her
Yeah.
on her situation, which I thought that was funny how that dynamic ended up being. But no, one of the things she said to me about communication, because every relationship has communication issues, right? But you have to be proactive in how you approach those issues. And she was telling me, she says, a marriage doesn't get destroyed by big problems because those are easy to deal with. They're present. They're right there in front of your face. You can't hide from them. You can't run from them. So you're forced to deal with them because they're big issues. She told me, she was like, it's the small things that don't get communicated are what destroy your relationship, because it's a bunch of little things, and those little things, if not addressed and not properly dealt with, they're the things that lead to resentment.
Yes.
They're the things that lead to, problems popping up in your marriage that seem like they came out of nowhere. So it's important, that, as you stated, you have healthy discussions about all issues. Obviously some issues may require you to pick a time and a place to discuss them, but you have to be able to, if there's an issue, big or small, that has an effect on you, then you have to be able to address it. And so I thought that was one of the things that she said that was quite beneficial to me, because sometimes we struggle with communication, and that's even in my own marriage, especially with my wife being younger than me. Sometimes I'll be like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't even think you know what you're talking about. But I think I finally found the video.
Okay, we back, baby, we back.
Hey, you've seen these TikToks. Over $100,000, that's not unreasonable. And over 6 feet, that's 2.2% of the male population. You can't tell women to lower their expectations, but this is the reality. When you ask a man if you could have a woman who had 80% of everything you wanted, 75% say, yeah, I'm on board. Mm-hmm. When you say to a woman, a man has 80% of what you want, 75% say that's not enough. But even look at the media.
Right.
What does the media tell a woman to do? He's out. But he didn't open your door. He's not nice to his parent. Walk right out on that man. Every piece of media is, you don't need him. You're a strong, independent woman. Pull the ripcord. You're out. The basic kind of communication around this is, you are a strong, independent, powerful woman. That is wonderful. And quite frankly, you don't need the imperfect man. And they're just not connecting. I read that on Tinder, a man of average attractiveness has to swipe right 200 times to get one coffee. And then 4 of those 5 coffees will ghost him. They will decide they don't want to meet him, or they won't show up. That means a guy of average attractiveness has to swipe right 1,000 times to get one coffee. Now, what does that tell that guy? Women don't value me. Women make me feel rejected. And then they go online, they see these misogynists telling them it's not your fault. Mm-hmm. And these men become much more prone to misogynistic content, much more prone to nationalistic content, blaming other people for the lack of economic opportunity. They start sequestering from society. I worry that we are literally evolving a new species of asexual, asocial male. And if a man by the age of 30 hasn't either lived with someone or married someone, there's a 1 in 3 chance he's going to have a substance abuse problem. The reason romantic comedies are 2 hours and not 15 minutes is this shit is hard. Mm-hmm. Like, finding an attractive, intelligent woman, generally speaking, 75% of people who've been married longer than 30 years say, in the beginning, one was much more interested in the other. And it was almost always the man. Women are much choosier. The basis of evolution is seed trying to get everywhere, men, and women deploying a much finer filter to select the strongest, smartest, and fastest speed. So men need an environment to demonstrate excellence. And you hear these women talk about it. He was kind. He was good at work. I liked the way he smelled. He was funny. Where do men demonstrate excellence? When they're not going to college, they're not going into an office because of remote work. They're not going to church. They're not going to temple. Where does a woman have the opportunity to fall in love other than these baseline metrics? And you were talking about women say, you've seen these TikToks, over $100,000, that's not unreasonable. And over 6 feet, that's 2.2% of the male population.
All right.
That gentleman is right. It's the pecking order amongst men and women in this social, I don't say it's next work, I say social reconstruction, because this has reconstructed our whole thought process when it comes to everything with social media. Where do I go? You know what I'm saying? You're giving me these criterias, and like he said, if a woman has 60% of everything, I can work with that. Let alone 80%, you done hit the gold mine.
Mm-hmm.
But as a man, I got to have 98.8% of everything that you want. Good job. Understandable. Got to be romantic with you. Understandable. You know what I'm saying? A good, you know what I'm saying? Loyal, and we get all that. So I have all that. But then you take me off into the deep end when you say, well, not me precisely, but you know what I'm saying? I feel for my height challenged brothers. But you say, gotta be 6 feet. God dog it. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have 6 inches. Okay. Damn, well, then you gotta have all these gotters. And it's just like, well, the things that you tell me that's important to you, I got all that. But you would take the guy who have these latter tier gotters, but he's not emotionally attached to you. He don't care about your feelings. He's not romantic, but you'll sit there and giggle in his face all day. You'll giggle in his face all day because the number one thing, he got money. So you in your mind think you can deal with that. All these other stuff, because he got money, you feel like you can retail therapy yourself to death because of the money. He's not showing up to the kids' recital, but he's got money. You know what I'm saying? He's not remembering our anniversary dates and all this, but he got money. But see, then you say when the kids and stuff is gone and everything else, so now you hear year 25, he hasn't done none of that for you, but now you want a divorce, saying, and the first thing you're gonna say, he's never done that. So why did you choose him?
Well, most of those relationships don't even make it that far.
Yeah.
They don't even make it that far. But you know, one of the things just think about that, right? I met my wife on a dating app. And as you know, if you've ever been on there, for the most part, most guys are like,
yep.
You just swiping. I'll figure out if I like her later on or not. Just
you just try to get chose, baby.
Yeah. And then when you match with somebody, then you like, all right, I'll read through, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
But just think about it. How many times you do that, right? And you don't get matched with. You know, when you're in the moment and you're going through that process, you're not really thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, it kind of brings it back to when he said that about the coffee date, and you know, just to get one coffee date show up, you got to swipe 1,000 times because, you know, it takes 200 swipes to get one coffee date, and 1 out of 5 are actually going to show up. And it kind of brought me back to I don't know why this particular story popped into my mind. I went on a date. I had, you know, swiping online, went on a date with this young lady, and we went to Dave and Buster's, and we had a good time. But she wasn't there because she was actually looking for somebody. She was there because her ex had cheated on her. I didn't know that at the time, obviously, but then, you know, after the date, I was like,
why are you here?
No, I was like, you know, do you want to go out again? And she was like, yeah, we could do that. And then, you know, we was texting back and forth, and she hit me with I think we should be platonic friends. I didn't even know what the hell that meant at the time. So I had to actually Google it. And I was like, friends? I ain't trying to be, I am not trying to take my friend out on a second date.
No.
And then she was like, and then I was like, yo, so you didn't have a good time? And she was like, yeah, I did. I was like, she was like, you're a really nice guy, respectful, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, but I think I'm gonna go back to my boyfriend. So all that time wasted. So I was just thinking, when he said that, it made me think about that. It was like, I put in time and effort to go out on this date. Now, obviously, there is no guarantee that, we were going to get together and like each other like that. But she was out there just because she was just trying to
Get out the house.
Get out the house, get over whatever it is that she was going through with her boyfriend. And so I was essentially used for a good time, and I ain't get shit out of it.
You was pocketbook hijacked.
Well, not pocketbook, it was wallet jacked.
Yeah. Hey, well, we've all been there, dude. And that is one hell of a feeling, dude. You know what I'm saying? Because you putting your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? You going, especially if you like a Dave and Buster's. I'm competitive, but I ain't trying to be too competitive. So let me just scale back a little bit and let her get a couple of wins in. You know what I'm saying?
I'm only competitive with like that. Like me and my wife, we pretty competitive.
Yeah.
Sometimes to the detriment of a good evening, because we'll get into an argument about something because we was competing with each other. It's like that point where it stops becoming fun and it starts to become annoying.
Yeah. Hey, that's me. That's me with my lady in bowling. You know what I'm saying? Like she a pretty good little bowler. I ain't even gonna lie. I be getting mad sometimes.
Hey, so I know we getting ready to close up shop,
Yeah.
but I wanted to ask you about this to get your thoughts. Are you familiar with the Akash Singh situation?
Oh, my boy and his woman talking about how she got ran through when she was in college with the little boy.
Yeah, and so
Frat guys.
So I've been watching this train wreck. It's one of those things that you just can't look away from.
You can't.
I feel so bad for him.
Yes, because he's a good guy.
Because when I look at him, I see a large part of who I was at one point in my life in him. Because the last two episodes we was talking about confidence.
Yeah.
That he has no real confidence in himself. Because remember, you and I, we were talking about real confidence. Confidence that when you walk in the room, you're able to stand on your merit, and that no woman will be able to break you down.
Yeah.
This dude, he is the most unconfident superstar that I have ever seen in his relationship. And it's evident because his wife, I don't like talking about nobody's wife, but it's out there. So his wife is an embarrassment to him.
He give Aisha Curry a easy pass.
Dude, the things that she says online couldn't be my wife.
Couldn't be my wife.
Couldn't be my. And you see, it's easy for her because he has no backbone.
Yes.
When you're an unconfident man, you allow yourself, if you're lucky enough to get a super attractive woman, as an unconfident man, you are setting yourself up for failure, because she's an attractive woman for sure. Yeah. But you are setting yourself up for failure, because if by some stretch of the imagination, you are able to make something of yourself to where your value in society increases, you're going to have your entire life ruined, especially in today's society where everybody's got a phone and everybody's looking for clicks, views, likes, all of that. And they're willing to do any and everything, say any and everything in order to get it. To the point where you will have a Jada Pinkett Smith embarrass a beloved Will Smith, to the point now where guys used to want to be like him and girls used to want to be with him. Guys are like, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
You have an Aisha Curry. You have whatever her name is to Akash Singh. Like, he will no longer be able to walk into a room of his peers and hold the value that he once used to have. He'll no longer be able to stand in the presence that he once used to have because she is essentially taking that away from him, and he can never, ever, ever, ever get it back.
No.
That is why it is imperative for men to get themselves together. Focus on yourself. Build yourself up. Go to the gym. Work out. Get therapy. Get your money right. All before you go out and you bring some little ratchet ass girl into your life and she ruins everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not confident, you don't have discernment.
Exactly. Way to put it right there. If
you don't have confidence, you don't have discernment, because you will be so eager to accept whatever you think you can get.
Yep.
And if your confidence is in the bottom of the barrel, guess what you're going to get? A bottom of the barrel chick.
Exactly.
Trust me, I know. I have done this. I have walked that life. And, I just feel bad for my dude because he's no longer going to get that. He's never going to be able to get that back.
Oh, no. Once it's gone, it's gone forever. And I'm a spade player, and you know about in the black community with spades, she big jokered him. Now, I don't know if this was a little retribution. She caught him cheating, and so she did something. But she came to the internet with that a couple of Sundays ago, and she talked about it. It was just chatting on a little lie. I've never heard of her. I've never seen her. Just all of a sudden on a Sunday, she goes live, and the next thing you know, she's saying she liked when she was in college going to the frat parties and getting ran through.
Listen, that ain't even the worst thing she just said.
I know.
That ain't it. Like, some of the stuff that she said is wild. Did you see the clips of her talking about she wanted to smash her homegirl's husband while her husband
I didn't want to say that on. I didn't want to say that.
He was sitting right there.
Did you see his face though? It went.
Dude, you ever seen those movies where, like, the hand goes over the camera and it goes black and you just hear stuff happening in the background?
Yeah.
That's what it would have been. You would have heard furniture being thrown. Hey, listen, I ain't a violent person, but I be damned.
If you say that to me in my face, yeah.
You say that ever.
Yeah.
Like, I better not dream of you saying.
Yeah.
I'm being funny, but I'm being for real though.
Yeah. Oh, I've had a conversation like that. I've said, hey, now we can joke. I'm all about the jokes, but now if you want to joke a little bit too hard and you get disrespectful, I'm gonna go real low. And so there's no respect there. She has no respect for him.
Zero.
And you can't prosper in a relationship as a man where there's no respect. Because when a woman loses respect for you, she becomes a very vile woman. Her mouth spews things, attitude shows a lot of things, then her actions. That's how it comes. Mouth, attitude, actions. Her mouth has said it. She's probably at the attitude stage now. Give it a couple of weeks ago, her actions, she was probably at a higher tier than him who just want to come down there and just say he smashed Akash Singh's wife. She gonna do it.
Yeah, and they were saying that the Indian community is not rocking with him right now.
No, because Indian men are some of the most, when you in
traditional.
When you allowing this, that's their thought. You allowing this? And because they real traditions, they hold shit accountable.
Yeah, it's that whole situation is wild. Like, and they just did a podcast together trying to explain the what is it a flagrant podcast and trying to explain it. And I made it probably 4 minutes in, and I was like, I can't listen to this.
Yeah.
I'm eventually gonna listen to it because I was not in the headspace to listen to
I've seen I've seen a couple of people what I'm saying, do a reaction to it. And everybody has said the same thing. Dude, my guy, gosh, what the hell are you doing, dog? You know what I'm saying the appeasement level that they said he was just trying to save her face so nobody will talk about her.
That's too late for that.
Yeah, dude, she didn't give you that same grace. So you don't think that her going out there and saying the things that she said, people wasn't going to talk about you?
Yeah, it is too late for that. That ship has sailed.
No, super sale. That's the next frontier. That's Mr. Spock now. That's
Look,
the frontier.
hey, what's that? That's the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Never to be seen again.
Hey, that was a good one
I
right
don't
there.
know. I don't know why that popped into my head.
Hey, that boy said Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
But all right, man. I think that's a good note to end this one on.
Yes, sir.
Big G, where can the people find you at?
Hey, man, find me at Wise and Smart 22 on the gram. Didn't do the Wednesdayism this week, so we're gonna be a double one next week. Shit, your boy been working, baby. I here like a Jamaican right now. I got 3 jobs. I'm trying, you know what I'm saying, trying to shake back, trying to, you know what I'm saying, Christmas coming for me. So I had to go out here and get a couple of jobs, side hustles. But you can find me on that. I'm gonna do a 2-1 next week. Probably do a Wednesday, Tuesday and a Wednesday. But yeah, we're back to I'm saying our regularly scheduled programming with these Wednesday isms. Might throw a holiday one in, but we're back to our regular scheduled program with the Wednesday isms. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be political. We're gonna be things to make you think. We're going to also talk about some things that I know that it's kind of very faux pas, especially in our community. And I can only talk about my community that I live in. So a lot of people would be asking me, why do I say a certain thing? Well, I say certain things when it's dealing with our communities due to the fact that I'm only focused on our community. Can't go outside of nobody else's community and tell somebody what their community needs to be done uh, without talking to my community first. And so I'm back on that.
Okay. All right. Well, I ain't gonna go through all of my places you can find me. They are down in the description. Um, will say thank you to everybody. We are at 1,900 subscribers and fastly approaching 10,000. So if you made it this far, make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification pin, and drop a comment down there. What am I missing?
Share.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Make sure that you share as well.
Oh.
All right, Big G. Till next time, homie. We out.
We out, guys.